Previously on Historical Geocaching, my dad and I are visiting Red Clay State Park in southeastern Tennessee, the Cherokee Indians' last capital before the Trail of Tears. We enjoyed visiting the various reconstructed buildings, the naturally flowing spring, and even finding a geocache.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Historical Geocaching on the Road with geocacher T and Fudbug from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So excited to be filming this Trail of Tears in Chattanooga series for you right now here at Red Clay State Park, about half hour southeast of Chattanooga. It is the site of the Cherokee's last capital before their removal on the Trail of Tears. What I'm even more excited than just visiting here is that a state park ranger has agreed to give a talk on Red Clay and what happened here, and just it's going to be awesome to learn more detail about this story and this place. So come along with me and my dad as we discover more history of Red Clay.
It was the capital and council grounds for roughly 6 years for the Cherokee Nation before removal happened. This is where a lot of the political action happened for roughly 6 years before the removal to Oklahoma began. Now everything has changed here a lot. Nothing here is original. This was actually originally a cow pasture, but this was donated in the 70s back to the state of Tennessee, and this is basically what you see today. But there are a few trees you see around here that were here during removal. There are a few trees around here that are about 160 years old, 160 or 70 years old. But you see that council house over there? That's basically where a lot of that's where the council happened, also the council house. Now, that's actually roughly 3 times smaller than what the original would have been. Because you could have people that are coming from all across the Cherokee Nation, people from here in Tennessee, people in Georgia, people in northeast Alabama, North Carolina, and elsewhere. This area was used primarily for politics. This is where we came for council. Now, we didn't always just meet here. Originally met south of here in a place called New Echota. Who here's from Georgia? Anybody from Georgia here? Nobody. Okay, y'all from Georgia? Y'all know where Calhoun is? In Calhoun, New Echota, that was the site of our capital. What happened is the state of Georgia deemed it illegal for Cherokee people to meet in public, unless they were speaking in regards to selling of land. So what we did is we moved the capital 500 yards away from the Georgia state line. Georgia is roughly 500 yards that way. And we moved it here because of the blue hole. And the blue hole provides what we need, provides water. That blue hole pumps 500,000 gallons of water out of it every day. 500,000 gallons every day. That's 300 gallons a minute. That's 300 gallons a minute. Sorry, I like numbers. But I think that's absolutely incredible. But the blue hole itself, what I've been told, I'm not an expert, but that is the gateway to the world below. Basically a portal in a sense. So that's a sacred site. So it wasn't just a place to get water. This is a spiritual area that has a lot of magnitude within the Cherokee culture. Do you know what I do? I make things. I make things like this. Y'all know what this is? What?
Sticker stick.
We call it that, yeah, sticker stick. This is a war club. Now, this is it's pretty nasty. In the old day, this was only used for warfare. I'm talking like 1800s and before. And this was generally made by the man He was going to use it. He didn't go out and buy it. He didn't have a friend make it for him. He made every warrior made his own club. Anything used for warfare was actually left outside the town because it was almost in a sense tainted. Because bringing something like that within the community has a negative connotation. Because the old people don't want to see that. The women don't want to see that. And the old people and women don't want the children to see that. So you talk about something that has done harm to people. And you look at this thing's nasty looking. Now, when I make these, I do give these things an enormous amount of respect. I don't consider them toys. I don't consider them just a thing. I consider them almost as a living object. I spend a lot of time on these. My sweat and blood is within this wood, and it's not a toy. It is a weapon. And whenever I tell people about that, I hope that they understand. I would let y'all see it, but it is extremely dangerous. This point here is pretty sharp. But the way that we used to fight, and it's written when the soldiers started coming to North Carolina to remove us, we kind of gave them a good run for their money. And it's written as we were the warriors of red and black. And there was a man that survived an attack because he fell into a patch of rhododendrons, and they didn't see him. But there was this medicine that we could have taken. It's basically like a drug. It makes our perception of time slower. And it is written on numerous occasions where you see one warrior taking 4 or 5 men out in the span of seconds. Because basically whenever I be moving, I feel like I'm going very slow. But I'm wired. I'm going very quick. So you have a whole bunch of painted up guys all yelling and all running at you, carrying clubs, knives, hatchets, coming out of the rhododendrons. You'd see it look like a bunch of demons. But what I tell people is that we're not purely warlike people. That was something that was thrust upon us. We had to react. Because traditionally, and still today, we're very family oriented. Women possess the home, they possess the fields, and they own the children. As a man, and I'm speaking as in the sense of like the 1700s and even into the early 1800s, my responsibility as a man was basically to provide for her in a sense. I was more of a convenience for her, and me being married was a convenience. If I was not being, appealing to her in a sense, I wasn't doing what she wanted, her mother, her sisters, and her mother's sisters could simply show up on the front porch of the house, their arms crossed, tell me to get my things and leave. Now, divorce wasn't like a sense as being like, emotionally traumatic. I mean, it could have been, but it's really just something as being convenient. I was basically something that was to be used. I was to provide her children. That was basically my purpose in life, is to protect her, protect the community, and give her children. And if I wasn't doing that, I was being a deadbeat, she could have to go home. I'd have to go home to mom.
Next week on Historical Geocaching, my dad and I finish up our time at Red Clay State Park by hearing the rest of the park ranger's excellent presentation. He shares about the 7 Cherokee clans, more about removal itself, and I get a chance to try the blowgun